We will discuss another algorithm in the dynamic programming technique, the traveling salesperson problem. The dynamic programming for a permutation problem. This traveling salesperson problem, it's a dynamic programming for a permutation problem. We know that permutation problems are very difficult to solve when we compare it with the subset problems. So you have seen that is while writing the job sequencing algorithm solution, you have written the subset solution directly, right? In the interns, many of you have written that, but that was not the solution. That was the greedy method we have, right? But subset problems, it is very easy to write, isn't it? Subset problems are very easy to write. So, but permutation problems are difficult to solve. Okay, when we have permutations, we have to get the permutation of n object, whereas there are only 2 to the power of n different subsets of n number of objects. N factorial is greater than 2 to the power of n. Okay, it is 2 to the power of n, not 2n. Okay, this value is 2 to the power of n, not 2n. Okay, so n factorial is greater than 2 to the power of n. Just remember that. Okay, so if we solve the subset sum problem, then it will be 2 to the power of n. Subset problem, it will be 2 to the power of n subsets will be having. Among that we can find out the optimal solution. But permutation problem, we need to find out n factorial solution. Among the n factorial solutions, we have to find the one which is having the optimal solution. Okay, traveling salesperson problem. First we'll see what is traveling salesperson problem. Will be given with a graph. That graph contains number of vertices and number of edges v comma e, where this number of vertices are considered to be list of cities. Okay, number of vertices are considered to be list of cities. Each vertex represents a city, and E is the set of the distance between each pair of vertices. This edge list contains a set of distances. It will hold the distances between each pair of city. Okay, between each pair of vertices will be having distance that will be stored in the edge list. Okay, so here we have to find out the shortest possible route that visits each city and returns to the original city. So traveling salesperson has to begin at a city, any beginning city. So from that particular city, he has to visit all the cities given in the graph. Okay, he has to visit all the vertices, all the cities given in the graph, and he has to return to the city where he has begun his tour. Okay, where he has begun his tour, he has to return to the city. For example, if he has started from city 1, he has to reach back to city 1. Okay, he has to reach back to city 1. In between, he has to visit all the cities. For example, if we have 4 cities, so the salesperson has to visit 1, 2, 3, 4, then return back to 1. Okay, that is the traveling salesperson problem. And here the condition is the salesperson should not visit a city more than once. He should not visit a city more than once. That is, he has to visit a city exactly once. Okay, he has to visit a city exactly once and return back to the city where he has started his tour. Okay, so every tour consists of an edge 1 comma k. Okay, edge 1 comma k for some k belongs to b minus 1. So if you consider the tour, that tour will be having the edge 1 comma k belongs to b minus 1. So it will not be equal to 1. In between, it should not visit the starting city. Okay, in between, he should not visit the starting city. That's why it is with vertices other than 1. That's why it is v minus 1. Okay, and a path from vertex k to vertex 1. Okay, after visiting all the city, from the last city, he has to go back to his the first city. So k to vertex 1. Okay, the path from vertex k to vertex 1 goes through each vertex in v minus 1 comma k exactly once. It is easy to see that if the tour is optimal, then the path from k to 1 must be the shortest k to 1 path going through all vertices in v minus 1 comma k. So we have to select the one which is having the shortest path from 1 to k and k to k back to 1. So let G of I comma S be the length of the shortest path starting at vertex I, going through all the vertices in S and terminating at vertex 1. Okay, the function G of 1 comma V minus 1 is the length of the optimal salesperson tour. From the principle of optimality, it follows that G of 1 comma V minus 1 is equal to minimum of k is greater than or equal to 2, less than or equal to n, Cik plus G of k comma B minus 1 comma k. This is the equation 1. We need two equation here. Okay, two recurrence relation we need. This is the first one to get the value from 1 to all other vertices. From 1 to all other cities we need that. So it will be minimum of 1 to k. 1 to other cities other than 1. 1 to 1 we are not going to find. Plus G of k comma B minus 1 minus 1 comma k. 1 comma k also we are not going to consider here. Okay, k to 1 we have to add later. Okay, while solving the problem we will come to know about it. Generalizing we obtain for I not equal to S. This is for 1 we have written. For other vertices also we have to write, right? Because in between we need to find the path, means in between we have to select the edges. For those edges we need this. G of I comma S is equal to minimum of Cij plus G of J comma S minus J, where J belongs to S. Okay, S is the set of vertices in between we are going to consider. Okay, this capital S is the set of vertices which we are going to consider. So these are the two formulas we are going to use. Okay, equation 1 can be solved for G of 1 comma V minus 1 if we know G of k comma V minus 1 comma k for all the choices of k. Okay, the G values can be obtained by using equation 2, and here G of I comma 5, it will represent from I to vertex 1. Okay, for example, if we have 4 vertices, 2 to vertex 1, 3 to vertex 1, 4 to vertex 1. Okay, that value will be represented by G of I comma 5. 1 comma 5 means 1 to 1. 2 comma 5 means 2 to 1. 3 comma 5 means 3 to 1. 4 comma 5 means 4 to 1. Okay, I greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to n. Hence we can use equation 2 to obtain G of 1 comma S for all S of size 1. So this is initial value. S of size 1 means for in the set S we are going to use only one vertex. That is, first we use 2, then we use 3, then we use 4. Okay, only one vertex. Then we are going to use 2 vertices in the set. Then we can obtain G of I comma S for S is equal to number of vertices is equal to 2. Okay, 2 vertices in the set. Then 3 vertices in the set. Then 4 vertices in the set, depending on number of vertices present in the graph. Okay, it will continue. When number of vertices is less than n minus 1, the value of I and S for which G of I comma S is needed are such that I not equal to 1. I should not be equal to 1. 1 should not belong to S. 1 should not be there in set S. Okay, 1 should not be there in set S, and I should not be there in set S. Okay, we have to find out the value like this when the value of number of vertices in S is less than n minus 1. Okay, so we are not finalizing it. Okay, we are not finalizing it when it is less than n minus 1. Okay, while solving the problem, we will come to know. Let us consider this graph. Okay, for this graph, you can notice that there is a path between, there is an edge between each pair of vertices. 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 1, 3 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 1, 4 to 2, 4 to 3. So you can notice that there is an edge between each pair of vertices. If the graph is like this, then only we can solve this problem using dynamic programming method. Okay, graph should be like this only. It should be a complete graph. Complete graph means there must be edge between each pair of vertices. if there is edge between each pair of vertices, then only we can solve using dynamic programming method. That is which we are going to discuss. Okay, so the edge values are given in the matrix. So 1 to 2 is 10, 1 to 3 is 15, 1 to 4 is 20. Okay, 5 to 1 is 2. You can notice the values here. 1 to 2 is 5. Okay, 1 to 2 is 5. You can notice the value. 1 to 2 is 10, sorry. 1 to 2 is 10 and 2 to 1 is 5. That is, here from 1 to 2 it will be 10 and 2 to 1 it will be 5. Okay, 2 to 1 it will be 5. It is not same. Okay, it is not same. It is not a single edge. We have two edges here. 1 to 2 is different and 2 to 1 is different. Okay, I hope you are getting. Then 1 to 3 is 15. 1 to 3 is 15 and 1 to 4 is 20. 2 to 3 is 9. 2 to 4 is 10. 3 to 1 is 6. 3 to 2 is 13 and 3 to 4 is 12. 4 to 1 is 8. 4 to 2 is 8 and 4 to 3 is 9. You can notice these values. It is not same. Edges are different, but we have edge in between each pair of vertices. Only diagonal elements are zeros. We don't have self loop. Okay, we don't have loop like this. 1 to 1, 2 to 2. We don't have loop like this. Okay, I hope you understood. So diagonal elements are zero because we don't have self loop. Okay, so this is the matrix given for the traveling salesperson problem. So let us find out 2 to 5. G of 2, 5. G of 2, 5 means 2 to 1. What is 2 to 1? It is equal to 5. Okay, from the matrix you can consider. You can give the number for this. So it is 1, it is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, similarly here it is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, give the numbers to rows and columns so that you can it will become easier for you to find out the values. So 2 to 1, 2 to 1 it is equal to 5, 3 to 1 it is equal to 6, and 4 to 1 it is equal to 8. Okay, 2 to 1 is 5, 3 to 1 is 6, and 4 to 1 is 8. First column you can notice. Okay, that will be the value for G of I 5. Okay, then using the equation 2. Use the equation 2. I told you first use only one vertex in the set S. This is set S. Okay, within the flower bracket, whatever the values we have, that is the set S. Use only one value. Use only one value. That is 2 to 3. 2 to 3, it will be equal to C23 plus G of 3, 5. 2 to 3, what is 2 to 3? 2 to 3 is 9. Okay, 9 plus 3, 5, it is equal to 6. 9 plus 6, it is equal to 15. Okay, similarly, G of 2, 4. G of 2, 4 is C24. What is 2, 4? 2, 4 is 10. 10 plus 4, 5. 4, 5 is 8. 10 plus 8, which is equal to 18. Similarly, G of 3, set is 2. So 3, 2. What is 3, 2? It is 13. 13 plus 2, 5 is 5. 13 plus 5, which is equal to 18. G 3, 4. It is C 3, 4. 3, 4 is 12. 12 plus 4, 5. 4, 5 means 4 to 1, which is equal to 8. 12 plus 8, which is equal to 20. Similarly, G of 4, 2 is C 4, 2 plus G of 2, 5, which is equal to 13. G of 4, 3 is C 4, 3 plus G of 3, 5, which is equal to 15. This is the value when used by using only single vertex in the set S. Okay, 3, then here 4. Okay, from 3, 2 and 4, from 4, 2 and 3. Okay, single vertex we have considered. Now let us use two vertices. G of 2, 3, 4. Okay, G of 2, 3, 4. Now we have to use the equation 2. Equation 2, minimum value we have to consider. Minimum of 2, 3 plus G of 3, 4 from the previous value, whatever we have got. Okay, so consider that 3, 4. comma C of 2, 4 plus G of 4, 3. So minimum among these two, it is equal to 25. Calculate the value for 2, 3. What is 2, 3? 2, 3 is 9. 9 plus 3, 4. 3, 4, G of 3, 4 we have got here. G of 3, 4, it is here, 20. 29. This first value is 29. And second value, 2, 4. What is 2, 4? 2, 4 is 10. 10 plus 4, 3. 4, 3 is here. 10 plus 15, which is equal to 25. So 29 and 25 we are getting, minimum value is 25. So that we have considered here. Similarly, for G of 3, 2, 4, we have C 3, 2, then here C 3, 4. Okay, C 3, 2 plus G of 2 to 4. Okay, G of 2 to 4, then C 3, 4 plus G of 4 to 2, which is equal to 25 again. And here also you have to note down from which value you are getting the minimum value. From, if it is first one, you mark the first one. If it is second one, you mark the second one. Like that, you have to mark the value from which you are getting the minimum value, because at the end we have to write the optimal tour also, right? Similarly, G of 4, 2, 3, it is equal to minimum of C 4, 2 plus G of 2, 3. Then C 4, 3 plus G of 3, 2. Among these two, we have to find the minimum. Minimum value is 23. Finally, from equation 1, we obtain G of 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have to use the equation 1 to get back to the vertex 1. To get back to the vertex 1, we need this. So minimum of 1, 2 plus G of 2, 3, 4. C 1, 3 plus G of 3, 2, 4. Then C 1, 4, G of 4, 2, 3. Okay, this is equal to minimum of 35, 40, 43. Minimum value is 35. So you have to note down the one which is having minimum value. So minimum value is 35, right? So we are getting from 1 to 2. Okay, C 1, 2 we are getting the minimum value. So you have to note down that. So an optimal tour of the graph of figure 5.21a has length 35. A tour of this length can be constructed if we retain with the each G of I, S the value J that minimizes the right hand side of equation 2. Okay, so that is, let J, Is with this value. So from the end, if we consider, then J of 1, 2, 3, 4, it is equal to 2. From the second value 1 to 2. 1 to 2, we have got the minimum value. We have seen in the last equation, right? So it will be equal to 2. Thus, the tour starts from 1 and it will go to 2. Now, from 2, we have to check. The remaining tour can be obtained from J of 2, 3, 4. So, J of 2, 3, 4, it is equal to 4. From 4, we have got the minimum value. Okay, from 4, we have got the minimum value. So, it is equal to 4. Thus, the next edge is 2 to 4. 1 to 2, then 2 to 4. The remaining tour is for G4, 3. Okay, so J4, 3 is equal to 3. The optimal tour is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 3. Obviously, from 3, we have to go back to 1. So, it will be 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 3 to 1 and 4 to 3 and 3 to 1. So, this is the optimal tour with the length 35. So, 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is 10, right? 10 plus 2 to 4. What is 2 to 4? 2 to 4 is also 10. 10 plus 10, 20. Then 4 to 3. 4 to 3 is 9. So 29. Then 3 to 1. 3 to 1 is 6. 29 plus 6, it is equal to 35. That is the optimal tour which we have got for the given problem. So I hope you understood this problem. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.